Welcome to the live, everyone. Is it working? Who knows? Is anyone able to see this live call? I guess we will find out. Okay, I think we're live. It's just not coming up on my side. Don't know why. Ah, here we go. Yes, it's working. Perfect. All right, guys, welcome to the live call today. My name's Sean, and I'm here to talk about Amazon FBA. Hopefully, we can help you turn this into a full-time income whilst you do it alongside your career job. That's the idea. You want to try and get to a point where you're making enough profit that you can eventually leave, but in the beginning phases, we typically like to work with people and help them do this alongside a career job. Cool. I'm just going to let our community members know that we are live. That is going to be really funny to watch on the YouTube replay. It's going to be an awkward beginning. Hi, YouTube, to everyone watching. Okay, cool. I've let our community members know that we're live. And I think we're good on all platforms. Great. So yeah, my name's Sean from Seller Smart. I have been selling since 2023. Give you a bit of background on the last couple of days we've been having. I recognize that name in the TikTok live. Welcome, Shout Alex. Thank you for joining, mate. I hope you've had a good day, brother. So Seller Smart update. It has been a very, very cool week. It's been very cool. We've got some really good news with the prep center. So we should be moving into a nice new location, hopefully early next month. And had some really cool conversations with some wholesalers who want to work with us, wholesale distributors that want to work with us, which is really cool. I'm very excited to get that going. So that will be for the people in our mentorship or our prep clients. So yeah, very excited to get that going. YK, welcome to the live. Just checking. Yeah, cool, we're good. All right, guys. So it's been a good couple of days. It's been a good week. It's been very busy, which is really cool. It's always better to be busier than not. I am more than happy to answer your Amazon FBA questions if you have any. If there's anything you've been absolutely desperate to know, please let me know. If there's anything you're stuck on, are you brand new, just getting started? Are you already selling? LTH Supplies, welcome back to the live. Thank you for joining, brother. Well, actually, I just gendered you, didn't I? I have no idea if you're a man or a woman, but welcome to the live. Thank you for joining again. Amazon FBA live topics, right? Let me bring up some of my trustworthy talking points that I always go over. Thank you very much for liking the live. Appreciate it. Are you guys having a good day today? No one sent any comments yet. How are you guys getting on? YK, welcome to the live, mate. Thank you for saying hi. Is it worth the hassle of making new listings? No, mate. New listings is only for private label sellers. We don't do that in the arbitrage game. You're only buying and reselling existing listings. We only buy and sell brands that already exist. So if you were going to do that with arbitrage, you would have to get the brand's approval to make a new listing. So just don't bother. And then you'd have to invest in PPC advertising to get it going anyway. We avoid all of that with arbitrage. We don't need to do that. We look for listings that are already selling at least 30 times a month. More is better. Has a good share of the buy box on the listing, has other FBA sellers coming in and off historically on the listing, which is a good sign that we can sell it. And we don't ever create new listings unless you're doing something like creating bundles or private label stuff, which again you can do. It's just for most people who are in this live, I would say that's a bit too advanced for them. I would save that for when you're a bit more experienced and you have a bit more cash flow, because bundles is essentially PL. It's just another version of PL, and it's really good, but it's better once you're a bit more established, got some more cash, and you understand how Amazon works, at least in my opinion. Obviously, to each their own though. Everyone's different on Amazon and in life. Everyone has different preferences, so it's whatever you prefer the most. Andrew Bird 682, welcome to the live again. I think I recognize your name right. I think I've seen you in here before. Thank you for joining the live. Okay, right. The worst deal I've ever made and what it taught me. That's a good question. Okay, so the worst deal I've ever made was when I was brand new selling on Amazon and I didn't know how wholesale worked with VAT pricing. So I had a supplier list from a pretty big brand who were happy for me to sell it on Amazon. They sent me the price list, and I thought I was going to be rich. But it turns out when you work with wholesalers, typically they send you price list excluding VAT. I didn't know that at the time because I was a brand new ignorant seller. And yeah, I thought I was going to be rich because these products sell very quickly. And then I very quickly realized that you need to buy an incredible amount of volume to work with this brand because it's a big brand. And I had no idea, that big brands are not going to work with brand new sellers. You need to put hundreds of thousands of pounds in to get it cheap enough. And I thought I was going to be rich, but I was very, very far off. That was probably my biggest blunder. I had the most insane dopamine from the feeling that I was going to get rich from that. And then the preceding crash when I realized I was wrong was pretty brutal. But it happens. You have to live and learn. The ebbs and flows are what make life life. And I'd rather experience the lows just so I can experience the highs. Okay, right. What's my next question? A mistake that cost me a certain amount and how to avoid it. Okay, very good question. So the biggest mistake I've made that probably cost me the most money was other than trying drop shipping was investing 100% of my capital into one brand, even though I was an authorized seller on the brand. Doing that was very risky. Investing all of my capital into one brand. Amazon changed their algorithm. I stopped getting the buy box only for that brand. No idea why. It fixed itself after 3 or 4 months, but it meant for 3 or 4 months, the only way I was making sales was selling that product at a loss. So that was a big mistake. It was a golden handcuffs opportunity where I didn't want to let it go, but it's just too risky to invest all of your capital in one brand. We recommend 5 to 10% of your capital. Probably 5 is safer. And the way to do that is to buy lots of different products, spread your risk by buying wide instead of going deep on one brand like I did. As I say, it was 100% of my capital pretty much in that brand, and it bit me on the backside. It did not work out, but I get to make mistakes and then come and tell you guys, and you guys get to avoid them. So silver linings, right? Everything happens for a reason. LT8 supplies, what should you do if an FBM undercuts the buy box price of a product you're in process selling? Yeah, so FBM versus FBA. FBM sellers have to undercut you to get the buy box. You just don't need to worry. Your competition is primarily FBA sellers. If you are trying FBM, a really good strategy is undercutting by about 5p on FBA sellers, depending on the product that's being sold. Obviously, if it has a really high sell price, you might need to undercut by a little bit. But FBM traditionally doesn't get as much time in the buy box as FBA sellers, so they're always going to be pricing cheaper. When you see listings where there are loads of sellers on the listing that are FBM and they're priced way higher, it's probably because they're FBM sellers listing on multiple marketplaces. Amazon is just one of them, and you don't need to worry about those as your competition. Your only competition is your only competition as an FBA seller are other FBA sellers in the buy box price. That's who you're competing against. But yeah, FBM is good fun, but for most beginners in this chat, I would say just stick with FBA just to learn. FBM has a bit more complications to it initially. LTH supplies, would you match the FBM's price or match FBA? Yeah, match FBA price, mate. Don't worry about the FBM seller. You're only competing against FBA for now. And just see what happens. If you're not getting the buy box and they're getting all of it, you can then consider matching them. But they're just going to drop their price again, and it's going to drive down the price on the listing. So it's better for you to just price match the lowest FBA buy box price and see what happens. Have some patience as well. You need to wait and see what happens. Gio, welcome to the live. I recognize your name. You've been in here before. How much is your mentorship? Yeah, so our mentorship, you need at least £5,000 to invest. We will work with you until, we'll work with you for 6 months. And at the end of the 6 months, if you haven't hit 50K revenue or double your revenue, we will keep working with you. We give you lifetime access to our course. We give you early access to our software. So the people in our mentorship have our software. We've got an insane feature in the software that is, you guys are going to absolutely lose your minds over it. But I can't say publicly what it is yet because our competitors will just steal the idea. But the people in our mentorship have been playing with it today, and yeah, they've been loving it. So you work one-to-one with us. The mentorship was built by our entire team. Sam is the head coach who leads it. Sam does 2 million a year, 7.5 million total since he started selling. And yeah, it's great. Only 5-star reviews. We've got an incredible group of people in there. Every single member in our mentorship group, we love them. They're fantastic. Everyone helps each other grow. So yeah, we're quite selective with who we work with, just because we want to make sure that you're going to fit the vibe, and we want to make sure that we can help you. We do offer payment plans, and we'll talk you through the pricing on the call. We'll be very transparent with everything. We do turn people away. So I actually had a call with a couple of people this week where they were really keen to work with us, but I didn't feel comfortable because their financial position, one of them had just lost their job and was going to use up all of their savings to do Amazon. And I was like, I'll tell you what, hold fire, we'll help you out. Don't join the mentorship. You try and get a job first and then we'll have a chat. We're dead serious about being a bit selective. We want what's best for people, and it's not going to be a good look for anyone if people get in trouble financially to start FBA. So we want to guide you guys the right way. Abdullah, welcome to the live. If I find a product on Alibaba and straight list on Amazon, can I without brand registry? You are talking about private label. Private label, you need to do brand registry. The only time you would ever buy from a Chinese supplier, or Alibaba specifically, is if you were building your own brand. We do arbitrage, where we buy from major retailers or Amazon directly, and we buy and sell brands that are already selling. So what you're talking about there is a different thing, brother. PL is not a good choice for most people who are getting started. Arbitrage will teach you how Amazon works, will get you faster returns. You can use it as a cash machine to build up capital and then do PL when you've got more money. Private label costs a lot more money than it used to, so just bear that in mind. Abdullah, or trademark, can I? Yeah, you can trademark it if you go down the PL route. Just make sure you do your due diligence first if you're going to go that route, because a lot of people buy PL stock and then they end up having it in their house for a year because they can't sell it. I actually spoke to a woman today who's thinking about joining our mentorship who did exactly that, and it's a common story we hear all the time. We have a free Discord community with almost 1,500 people, and we know it's probably a selection bias, but we know so many people who have lost money doing PL versus arbitrage, which is pretty consistent and easygoing. Andrew Bird 682, hey, welcome to the live, mate. Thank you for joining. Good to see you in here again, mate. How's your day been? Love and Light, good to see you in here as well. Thank you for joining. So impossible finding a product to resell. So Sam, who's the head coach in our mentorship, Sam spends £100,000 a month on products. 95% of the products he spends money on are not replens. They are new leads that he finds. There are leads absolutely everywhere. You just need to learn how to source well, and it's not easy in the beginning. In the beginning, it is hard. You're going to be gated in everything. You have no existing knowledge of brands, retailers, what times of year they go live with deals. So I empathize. It is challenging in the beginning, but it's not that there's no leads. It's a skill gap. You need to keep practicing, keep learning, use Keeper and SellerAmp SaaS, and work with us one-to-one if you want to, or get our course. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of leads out there. We've been talking in the background about how we're going to help our mentorship community find more leads, and I think I've established a good way to do that this week. So I'm very excited with that. And our software, when it comes out, the people in the mentorship have access to the software, but when that comes out, that's going to help you source a lot more as well. The software is designed in a way that gives you tools so that you can find leads a lot faster. Initially, it's going to be EU A to A based, but we're going to expand it to lots of other types of suppliers as well. Andrew Bird, you're all good. Thanks. Yeah, cool. Good to see you in here, mate. Thank you for joining. Don't know what's going on with my vision today. I'm having to squint to see the questions more. YK, how many leads do you give a day? We don't give leads into the mentorship. Sorry, I want to clarify that. We are really, really firm in our belief that we need to teach you how to fish in the mentorship, not give you a fish. Teach a man to fish and you feed him. Sorry, teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. the mentorship is there so that we can teach you guys to be self-reliant. If we just give you leads, what's the point? What's the point? As soon as you leave the mentorship, you're going to be screwed, aren't you? So yeah, we teach you how to do it properly. It's very effective. People in there do really well, really great results, only 5 stars. What I was saying is we've been working on things in the background to help people find leads easier, and that's what we've been successful with this week. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how that goes. I can't go into too much detail, but I will do once we've once we've worked out the kinks and we've established it's a good method. Then I'll talk publicly on social media about that. But yeah, so to give you guys more context as well, we've had software for years now. We've had virtual assistant recruitment agency where we trial VAs. So we've had access to thousands of leads and we never sell them. We could make a lot of money selling leads, but we just don't believe in it. We don't believe in that as a model. People who buy leads from groups where they sell leads publicly to hundreds of people, the listings tank, and then those people say Amazon is dead. So we just don't believe in that as a model for us, for SellerSmart. Fair play to other people who want to do it, and if other people in those communities want to take the risk, they're not all bad. Not all of them are bad, but you absolutely, when you're doing this business model, you need to learn the skill of how to source yourself. And once you've got that self-reliance, your business is more secure, right? Because you're going to be able to operate. Let's say that other company that you are buying leads from, what happens if they go under? What happens if they stop selling you leads or their leads stop working? You're so dependent on other people, it's too risky. So it's always better to be self-reliant. LTH supplies, what does it mean if a buy box is suppressed the majority of the time? Really good question. So with Amazon FBA, when there is a suppressed buy box, that is Amazon saying that they believe the product is being sold for too expensive a price. And you'll find that Amazon are very cheeky because very often they'll sell it at a price, they'll run out of stock, and then all of a sudden the buy box will suppress and they'll say it's too expensive. But we're selling on their platform, so you got to do what you got to do. So on a suppressed buy box listing, it does not mean you can't sell the product. It just means you need to expand the sellers on the listing, see what the cheapest FBA seller is selling it for, or even with suppressed buy box, even just the cheapest seller on the listing, and then you need to match their price, not undercut them, match them. If you can match their price, and the product is selling, you need to check Keeper and make sure the product's selling, check SaaS. If it's selling with a suppressed buy box and you can match the cheapest price and be profitable, then it's good to buy. And a lot of the times people ignore those listings because it's suppressed. But yeah, you will find, say a product's been selling for 20 quid and it has the buy box, but then it goes up to 22 quid and it loses the buy box. What you'll see over time is the more sales that product sells at £22, the more likely Amazon are going to reinstate the buy box at that price because the consumers are proving that they're happy to pay, the customers are proving that they're happy to pay £22 for it. And equally, if other retailers who have the same products match that price, then the buy box will likely come back as well. If Currys, for example, are selling a product for 20 quid and it's on Amazon for 25, Amazon is more likely to suppress the buy box until you match Currys. But obviously for you as a seller, you have to sell at a profitable price. So you need to do your checks beforehand and just make sure whatever the suppressed buy box price lowest amount is, you can match to sell for a profit. I hope that makes sense. What would I do differently if I started again today? Okay, so if I was to start Amazon FBA all over again, I would not split my focus by learning every business model at the same time. I would not split my focus by learning every business model at the same time. So I learned FBA, it worked very well. Then I got into eBay, then I got into dropshipping, then I got into other stuff. And you only have so many hours in the day, you only have so much attention. And every hour that I was spending on learning eBay or learning dropshipping, it wasn't time I was investing into learning how to source, building my database, collecting discount codes and vouchers, sharpening the sword of Amazon. So we are a big fan of diversifying your income, diversifying your revenue. We're a big fan of telling you to crack FBA first, crack it first. And then once you've got your team in place, once you've got automations and great systems, once you've got it really functional and consistent, then it's a good idea to look into diversifying. So, my mistake was learning them all at the same time. And if I could go back and do it all again, I would only focus on FBA, because without a doubt for us, it's been the biggest driver of revenue. Everything else has potential, but it didn't quite work. Drop shipping, we lost loads of money. eBay is good. I like eBay, but it doesn't have the sales velocity of Amazon, so it's a lot slower. Vinted for secondhand stuff is cool. For selling your returns is cool. But again, it's just not anywhere close to Amazon's sales velocity. FBA Kurt, I just got my first sale and above buy box. Amazing. That's really good. Well done. Congratulations. Bravo. FBA Kurt, how does that feel? Did you get the dopamine hit from the profit? Did you get the dopamine hit proving that it works? Because like for most people, when you make a first sale, you've seen it all on social media. You see people flashing the numbers, and you understand, a lot of people understand that 65% of the sales on Amazon are with third-party sellers. But until you make your own first sale, that's what really conceptualizes it to you as an individual that it works. It is an amazing feeling. It is. I'll go be honest with you. I had an addictive personality growing up, and the dopamine hit from sales is unrivaled. It's very addictive. Yeah, FBA Kurt, totally. Yeah, 100%. It's super addictive. And again, like, a lot of these online business models work. A lot of them work. So you just got to pick your poison and choose what you think is good for you. We love FBA. We love Amazon, but we know it's not for everyone. And on these live calls, we try to tell you guys the reality of what it's like to sell on the platform. A lot of people sell the dream. They sell the numbers, but they don't really tell you anything about the implementation on how to do it. They don't really tell you the trials and tribulations that you're going to face as a seller. That's what we like to do. We like to tell you that, yeah, it's amazing. It will change your life. It's going to be a graft. It's going to be hard work, and you're going to run into issues. You've got to have a thick skin, but it's damn fun, damn enjoyable if you can get through it and keep progressing forward. Okay, interesting. Early habits that slowed my growth. Okay, so early habits that slowed my growth in Amazon FBA was doing everything manually. So I'm going to date myself here, but 3 years ago when I started, large language models weren't super common and used by everyone. So using ChatGPT wasn't really a thing as much when I started, or at least I wasn't aware of it massively. So I was doing so many things manually. And with time and experience and with knowledge of what you're doing, you can start to automate, delegate, and remove a lot of the repetitive tasks. So in the early days, I wouldn't worry too much if you are being repetitive, but just try to think long term what you can do to limit the repetitive work. I'm someone who, like, if I have to do something that's really repetitive and long-winded, and your reward is very sporadic, I get kind of bored. So sourcing for me, I always found it really challenging in OA manually, before we had our software. I did it and I got good at it, but I found it challenging long term. I'm very much scale focused. I want to see if I can scale this business to the moon, and I can't do that if I'm doing all my own sourcing. But again, that's a point where you can hire a VA, you can build your team, you can use our software, or join the waitlist rather. These are all things that you can do to remove the repetition of that workload. YK, if profit is just 10% on sales, is it a sustainable business? Crikey, I can't talk today. Yeah, boss. I mean, 30% return on investment is what we recommend you aim for as a non-VAT registered seller. So depending on the price of the product, 30% ROI is going to be 10% profit margin on some, but it's going to be, I don't know, 18, 20% on others. It depends on the sale price. And you've got to check Seller SAS to see what that is. And that's a minimum. If you're hitting if every single one of your products you're finding is 10% margin, I think you need to keep developing your sourcing ability, because there's way better leads out there than just 10% minimum. I promise you that. Way better leads out there. But yeah, I mean, think about it this way, my friend. If you have a supplier that has a product that sells 5,000 times a month, and they can get infinite replens for you, and the competition isn't on the listing, and you make 10% margin every sale you make, how is that not an amazing business model? That's just rinse and repeat making money. You're putting money in and getting money out. So yeah, it's entirely dependent on the context, isn't it? It's dependent on the scenario. Richie583756, welcome to the live. Is there a certain too many times applying for ungates? My record is 20 times before I got accepted. What you need to do though is you need to play the game. You need to apply for the ungate, get rejected, reapply a bit later on a different ticket, get rejected, flip the invoice, get rejected, change the file type from JPEG to PNG, try again, get rejected, change the comment on the application, get rejected, annotate the invoice, try again, get rejected. Just keep trying different things until you eventually get the ungate. Really, really important though, if you are getting really stuck on an ungate and you are allowed to sell the product, unfortunately that does happen, but you need to validate, does the invoice show your business registered business information, and does it show your supplier's registered business information? Because a lot of suppliers give really terrible invoices that Amazon don't like and don't accept. And we advise in our free Discord community and our mentorship, hey, can I buy from, I don't know, Smith's Toys? Do they provide good invoices? Yes, they do. They're safe to buy from, but the competition is high. That's just a good example. So depending on the place where you bought from and depending on the quality of the invoice, that could be what's affecting your attempts there, which I'm assuming is quite a few times based on your question. Don't sleep, repeat. Don't sleep, repeat. Nice to meet you, mate. Welcome to live. What's your LTD company name? We'd love to check you out before giving you money. So Seller Smart Ltd, my friend. You can check us out. Check us out on Trustpilot, Google. You can join our free Discord community in the link in the bio. We have a free community that has almost 1,500 members now. And we have 115 positive reviews that need to go up onto our website, and I need to double check with Reese to find out what's happening there, because I know he was having some issues formatting the images, which is why it was a bit delayed. Richie, yes, 20 times is my record. I've had some products that just didn't ever ungate. So I spent almost £1,000 on Gucci, and Gucci never ungated for me. Everyone else around me who got ungated on Gucci got ungated within 5 to 10 attempts. I just got unlucky. I just gave up in the end, and then I ended up selling them on eBay, I think it was. Yeah, selling them on eBay. I still made money. I didn't make as much money as I would have, but yeah, that was a frustrating one. I bought that from Notino, and Notino split the invoice down into 2 invoices of 5. If you combine the invoices, actually, for most people, that's fine. For me, Amazon just never accepted it. You know, it's just one of those annoying things. It happens. It doesn't happen all the time. And there's a game you can play. As I mentioned earlier, changing up the invoice, that's a really good way to do it. Richie, you're on your 12th try. Yeah, so you're at the point where you need to wait 1 to 2 days before you reapply and do what I said, mate. Change something about the application every time. So give it a couple of days, then try again. Annotate the invoice, highlight the boxes of required information, change the comment, flip the invoice, change the file type. It's just part of the game. 5 to 10 times is about the average, I would say. Anything up to 15 times is normal. 15 plus is annoying, but it happens. It happens. Not all the time, but it happens. LM Commerce, currently trying to ungate, but don't have company name on invoice. Supplier won't do me a copy. Amazon are not going to accept that, I'm afraid. You're going to have to figure that ungate out with something else. Unfortunately, it's just not going to work. The supplier not updating the invoice for you is a bit weird though, because you could say it's for HMRC tax purposes, and there's no reason they wouldn't update that. The only reason they wouldn't update it is if they're being difficult, and again, it depends on the supplier. If the current buy box holder has a if the current buy box holder has a lot more stock than competitors, do you avoid? Yeah, no, sorry, I don't. This is something that comes with the school of hard knocks. You need to learn this through your experience. If I'm joining a listing where the listing sells, I don't know, 100 times a month, and there is a big seller on the listing that has thousands in stock, and I can see on the buy box that the buy box is almost always shared to them, then I would think twice about getting onto that listing too much, you know. That's where you do your due diligence and you review the listing case by case. You can see the buy box statistics, and each month you can see how much the buy box is being shared around the sellers. Some of them will be like, a completely equal split. Others will be 95% one seller, and you need to be careful with those listings. But yeah, you can check that with Keeper. Richie, wow, yeah, absolutely, mate. It was frustrating. I haven't been on Seller Central since nearly the last time I talked to you on a live. I told you I had 77 of sales. Now it's 264. 264. Holy dopamine hit. Yes, mate. Oh man, that's made me so pumped. I'm so happy for you, mate. I was really hoping you were going to continue with it because you were joining the lives quite a bit, guys. Live example right there, proving the concept. Dopamine hit. I'm telling you, I'm not just speaking from my own experience. The dopamine hit from proving this works is insane. It's so addictive. Awesome work, Richie. Well done. Keep going. Think about how this can scale now, right? Think about you've gotten your first sales, you're doing well. Think about how much this can scale. You get to a point where, just like Sam, who's the head coach in our mentorship, 2 million a year, he works on it 10 to 15 hours a week. He has VAs that do the job for him, most of the job for him, prep center that does the delegation, does the prep process. It's an incredible model, mate. It's so good. Don't sleep, repeat. Callum, Sean, and Reese have been trading for less than a year. Don't fall for it, kids. I've been selling since 2023. Reese has been selling for 3.5 years. Cal's been selling for 3.5 to 4 years. Sam, who's the head coach in our mentorship, has been selling for almost 5. Don't sleep, repeat. I think you might be new to this group. I don't think you've been in our lives before. So that's a pretty weird assumption to make. It's also factually inaccurate. Seller Smart's been around for 2 years. We've been selling for way more than Seller Smart's been around. So I don't know where you've got that assumption from. Appreciate the comment though. Thank you for the engagement. LM Commerce, supplier 100% being difficult. Phone them 3 times. Yeah, unfortunately, mate, it happens. If the supplier thinks you're selling to Amazon, they might be being difficult on purpose because a lot of them don't like resellers. It just depends on where you've bought from. You can keep trying, but personally, I would try to get an ungate from somewhere else. So what you can do, is you can, let's say you're selling, I don't know, Samsung. You've bought your product from that supplier for Samsung. You can try and find a really cheap product in Samsung from another retailer that does good invoices. You could buy that to get ungated, and then you could sell the product that you wanted to sell. But again, it's whether you want to tie up your capital with that. Obviously, if the cheaper product is profitable, that's ideal. That's great. But yeah, investing a little bit into ungates is a good idea. Top Biscuit, what a name. I love that. Welcome to the live. No questions from anywhere else. All right, let's go back to the talking points. What I do differently, I said that. Early habits, I've done that one. The biggest waste of money. So the biggest waste of money in your Amazon FBA journey is overspending on software. And I'm saying that from experience. I was spending at the end of my first year, I was spending £500 a month, not all the time, not consistently, but I was spending £500 a month testing all the different softwares because I wanted to see what ones were good. And, you have to keep your expenses low. This business model only works if you keep your expenses in order. So doing a monthly profit and loss, checking your bank statements every week or every month, just making sure you're not buying subscriptions that you don't use. That is going to be one of the biggest drivers of you actually having a margin in this business model. And, one of the software tools that drove up that price was $250 a month for a repricer. And I bet it works in the US where the business market is different. I bet it works in the US, but in the UK, it just caused problems for us. We all tested it. It was very aggressive. It bricked listings. It tanked prices. And it wasn't recommended. It wasn't recommended. In our experience, we split tested loads of different softwares. SDK's repricer was by far the best. I'm not a big fan of the software personally. I don't use it, and you need the software to get the repricer, but I'm not going to knock the repricer. The repricer was definitely the best out of the ones we've tested, I would say. But I mean, Amazon has a free repricer now, so you can always try that before having to spend money on a repricer. YK Sellerboard or Seller Toolkit? Yeah, so I'm particular. I like Sellerboard because when I was doing a lot of wholesale, Sellerboard is much better for that. And Seller Board allows you to track PPC and ads, which I like to do a bit of. Not aggressively like you do in PL, but I like to do a bit of that. Seller Toolkit, I'm not the biggest fan of, because Seller Toolkit for me was recording profits for 4 months on EFN, European Fulfillment Network sales that I was making in the EU. And then I had a discrepancy in my financials about, as I say, 4 months in. I looked in the back end reports and I realized Amazon was misrepresenting shipping fees and fees in general, and I was actually losing money per transaction. It's not SDK's fault, but SDK was giving me incorrect numbers that led me down a bad path for 4 months. So very expensive mistake. I probably should have taken Amazon to small claims court over that. I just took the L and I moved on and I switched off EFN. And then I found out a lot of people have the same story. So now we don't recommend EFN at all. We recommend turning it off. But yeah, that's why I like Seller Board more. Seller Board, you can track PPC. It's good for replens. It's good for, I do eBay as well. So Seller Board's good for eBay as well. And hopefully when our software comes out, it will wipe all of them, hopefully. But yeah, that's up to us to do a good job. Okay, right. So times I ignored data and paid for it. No, there's never been a time that I've read the keeper graph. There's never been a time that I've read the data and thought, this is really risky, I'm going to buy it. Every product that you buy has an element of risk. You have to gauge what risk is good for you. But I've never looked at the data and gone, this is really risky, I'm going to try it. One thing I love telling this story. Cal Reese and I, when we were developing the software that was focused on EU A to A, we would all be buying the same leads, but occasionally one of us would buy a lead that the others were like, oh my God, I can't believe you bought that. It looked crap. And there was a vinyl. I can't remember the vinyl, but I sent it to our prep center. Cal saw it and started laughing, and he messaged me and he was like, why did you buy that? It looks terrible. And then within a week I'd sold out and I made 47% ROI. And it wasn't that I'm better at reading Keeper than Cal. It wasn't that. It was that there is a bit of an art form to sourcing. Everyone reads the data differently. Even AI, large language models, they are so bad at giving you Amazon advice, but it's always interesting to use them and see what they say. They're bad for now, I might add. Maybe in the future that will change. But everyone has a sourcing style. Everyone sees the data differently. Everyone has a different risk tolerance. When I see a lead that I like, others might not like it. When I see a lead that's really risky, others might like it. And you have to learn through the school of hard knocks and keep trying, keep testing and seeing what's good for you. What happens behind the scenes in real FBA business? So what happens behind the scenes in a real FBA business? I'm going to take the assumption that you are doing this alongside your full-time job. So behind the scenes is you structuring your week, structuring your calendar, setting times in your week to do sourcing and admin, and then sticking to it rigorously, not breaking it, because the only way to do this business model is to invest time into it, invest money into it, and keep practicing, keep getting better. So you might work before your 9 till 5, you might work after it, you might work on the weekends. I would typically set a certain time in my week to action admin. And our software helps with that a lot. So with our software, you don't even need to set time in that. You just play with the software for half an hour a day. And I would be moving constantly towards automating and delegating as much as I can. Automating and delegating. Not everyone wants to do that. I had a sales call about our mentorship a couple of days ago where the lady I was talking to said she really wants to do Amazon to be self-reliant. She doesn't ever want to hire a virtual assistant. She doesn't want to have to manage a team. Totally fair enough. To each their own. That's completely her choice. For me, I was the opposite. I was wanting to delegate, automate, and grow as quickly as I could so that I could focus on the higher return on investment tasks in the business, like finding better suppliers, diversifying the income, finding cash to throw at products. That's the biggest thing, finding cash so that you can keep reinvesting and scaling. Okay, cool, 47 plus. Why admin work kills most Amazon sellers' momentum? Okay, so admin, admin killing your momentum as a seller on Amazon FBA is very normal because 95% of people we talk to do not pay attention to their admin. And we would argue that admin is probably one of the best hires you can make in the business with a VA before a sourcing VA. Almost everyone goes sourcing VA first. Fair enough, to each their own. But your admin is your sourcing is going to be what makes you profit. Your admin is going to be what protects your profit margin. You need to keep on top of your returns. You need to keep on track of lost stock. You need to keep on track of customer damaged or customers returning products and the product's not in sellable condition. If you're not keeping track of that, your lovely gross profit is going to very quickly dwindle. So I can't stress that enough. Definitely learn how to do the admin in this model properly. Okay, so going along with what I just said, it is so important to track everything in Amazon. When you're in your first 3 months, so there's people in here who are fairly new to the game. When you're in your first 3 months, you have no data. So you versus an experienced seller, the experienced seller has not only put time into it, but they've got brands that they know that sell. They know what time retailers go on offer in the year. They have discount codes that work because a lot of retailers reuse discount codes. You can't have all that information unless you're collecting data, unless you're always improving, always adding to it, and it's going to be so hard until you do that. So if you're finding other FBA sellers with fewer than 400 reviews, you're doing SellerAmp SaaS and your storefront sourcing, and you're going through their brands and you can't find the listings, you're going through their brands and you can't find any profitable deals, they must be finding them somewhere. Otherwise, why would they be buying them? So those are brands that you can keep track of. You can add those to your list. You can make it a point that when you can't find a brand on sale, you periodically check it, you Google it, and you go to different retailers and you try and figure out where they were buying it from or how they were manufacturing their margin. That's more often than not what's happening. It's very likely that the seller who's bought it is able to get it cheaper than you and you just haven't cracked that code yet. It's super important to do that. LTH Supplies, can I use an invoice of a sub-brand to ungate the whole brand? Can you give me an example of what you mean, my friend? Yeah, can you give me an example of what you mean? Because I can think off the top of my head, I can think of a few examples. It's tricky. I don't want to say yes or no because ungating is so arbitrary. It's impossible to say. But basically, if the brand on the listing matches the brand on the invoice, it should be okay. But yeah, I can't give a definitive yes or no just because of the trickiness with ungating. Richie 583756, can I order a product, then return it, then use the invoice to ungate? Richie, you can. You would be seen by other Amazon sellers as very unethical. A lot of retailers go out of business because of returns fraud and scams. So a lot of people in the Amazon space really don't like it when people do that. I would say it's not cool. You imagine, mate, if you get 10 products that you're really excited to sell and you list them, another seller buys them out from you and then returns them all damaged or whatever, it would probably ruin your day. I know people don't see major retailers as people because they're big businesses, but it is a bit iffy, so you can do what you want. Obviously, you're an adult, you can make your own choices, but a lot of Amazon sellers don't like that, and I personally don't do that. I'm a big fan in the first 3 months of selling what you can. So if you've invested a bit of money into getting an ungate and you can sell it on Amazon for break even or even at a tiny loss, that sales data is going to help your account. That's better than returning anyway, so I would do that personally. And if you're going to do that in a wholesale context, if you were going to buy from a wholesaler and return it because of an ungate, wholesale is actually a no returns business model anyway, which most new sellers don't realize that and don't know that. So yeah, to each their own, as I keep saying in this live for some reason. But yeah, it's whether you see it as unethical or not, mate. I personally wouldn't do that. I just get any sales I can. Samim Zaman, is that how you pronounce it? Samin? Apologies, mate. Are you in Europe? Kind of, I guess. I'm in the UK. What do you guys think? Is the UK Europe anymore? geographically or Brexit, who knows these days, right? Seems like everyone wants to go back because the clever people decided to vote us out and leave. That was an excellent choice for the UK. YK, do you teach A to A as well? Yes, mate, absolutely. A to A, Sam is 50-50 OA and A to A. I'm much more like wholesale personally and EU A to A, and the team and I between us, we are specialists with EU A to A, so we teach that very heavily in our mentorship. Reese actually has a call with the mentorship group in the next week or two where he's going to do a deep dive on EU A to A. We've already done one corner and it was very good, but we're going to do it again because people are super interested with it. Samin, almost. Okay, well, I tried my best, my friend. Apologies. I'm terrible with names, mate. I'm so bad at reading people's names. 6:53. Okay, guys, you got me until 6:57 because I got a call at 7 p.m. Oh my God, I'm going to do my best, right? Amalazizi? I have no idea how you pronounce that, but I love the name. What is your question, my friend? Thank you for joining. Root Milk Ltd. Hey, welcome to the live. I recognize your name. Thank you for joining. How are you? Why not? Welcome to the live. I recognize your name as well. Samin, tell me more about your program. Yeah, absolutely. So our mentorship program was developed by the whole team. So it was Reese, Cal, myself, and Sam. We've all been selling for years now. We all come from technical backgrounds, so a lot of the problems in the Amazon space, we felt that we could resolve them, we could fix them. So we created an ecosystem so that you guys have everything you need from us. You can get free resources, free course, you can get one-to-one coaching and mentorship, you can join our prep center, you can hire a VA, you can join our software waitlist for that when it's coming out. The one-to-one mentorship is a 6-month program, 3 months of one-to-one, 3 months in the group. And at the end of the mentorship, if you haven't hit 50K revenue or doubled your revenue, we will keep working with you. We are very, very, very proud of the people in the group. They're working very hard. They're doing really well. They're getting fantastic results. And yeah, we only have 5-star reviews. If you do want to work with us, you need at least 5K to invest. And on the call, we'll gauge who you are. We'll figure out if we can help you. And yeah, we do have payment plan options available. I'm well, thanks. And you? Yeah, I'm really good, thanks, mate. I've had a very long day. My entire day was calls, and I didn't want to skip a live. I wanted to be consistent, so I came live. But I'm super tired today. But thank you for asking, mate. Yeah, it's been a really good day, really good week, though. We're coming to the end of the month, and we've managed to hit our big sales target this month, which is really cool. So it's really fun to me, business ownership is like constant problem solving and a puzzle. I love it. It's so fun. I absolutely love it. Raw Tool, yo, welcome, mate. Welcome to the live. What's your propose of TikTok live, and why are you interested to teach Amazon to the public? Really good question. So I am here to represent SellerSmart. I'm here to help you guys learn Amazon FBA. We are very passionate about Amazon. We have a free Discord community with almost 1,500 people. We, as a company, as an entire team, we worked for free for a year. We worked for free for a year to build up our reputation, to build up our trust with people. And we use TikTok lives to get people, to help people out, help them start, help them grow, help them scale, help them overcome hurdles. If they want to work with us, fantastic, but no pressure. We're not that type of group. We like to get people into the free mentorship, the free Discord community, and TikTok live helps us do that. But we're not just live on TikTok. We are live everywhere. So wherever you're watching from, thank you for joining this evening. Raw Towel, how much is your mentorship? Yeah, so you need at least 5K to invest, and we will talk to you on the call about the pricing. We'll be very transparent. We just want to gauge who you are first. Oh, that's my alarm clock. We just want to gauge who you are and if we can help first. We don't talk publicly about pricing, but on a call we'll talk you through it straight away. That's great. I'm going to leave that. Right, where did I leave off? You are in the US. Very cool. The US is a really good market. You've got the US as the biggest marketplace in the world for Amazon. Then you've got Germany because it acts as a central hub to the rest of Europe. And then you've got the UK. The UK is the third. Our speciality is the UK market, but the fundamentals and how to do the business model is all the same. So if you wanted to have a chat with us and work with us, we'd love to use you as as a test run for working with people from the US. So I'd love to have a call with you and see if you'd be open to trialing something out with us. Root Milk Ltd, nice. Thanks for the free platform. Very useful. I appreciate it. I appreciate the comment. Thank you. Yeah, we understand that so not everyone has loads of money, and if you have some money to come into Amazon, some people just need to spend that on stock. We want to help as many people as we can, so we have paid services and we have one-to-one support and everything, but we have the free ones to try and help as many people as possible. YK, do you still have your own Amazon accounts? Yeah, absolutely. So mine is going through a Section 3 violation right now, which again, I just realized I need to send our account recovery expert invoices. I keep forgetting to do that. I'm going to get that cleared, and then I'll post a video on social media about why you need to not panic about Section 3s. You just need to follow the rules. Cal is very actively selling. He's had a very good month. Reese is not actively selling right now. His full focus is on Recruit Smart. And Sam is an active seller. Sam does 2 million a year, and he's the coach in our mentorship. Amelazi, why? Can you ask me what that was regarding, please, mate? Wait, what's the time? Okay, guys, I've got to go in literally 1 minute because I've got a call. Do you coach US students? Yeah, mate, jump on a call with us and I'll have a chat with you. I'd love to use you as a guinea pig for us to try, if you're open to it, because we are UK focused, but the fundamentals are the same. When I learned FBA originally, I learned from someone in the US and the knowledge was great. So if you want to schedule a call with us and we can have a chat and try and work it out, that would be really cool. Why everyone teach other people to sell on Amazon? Are you thinking that Amazon is easy? No, not at all. I understand what you're saying. There's a lot of people who sell the dream of Amazon. I would say we're one of the few groups that we try to tell you what it's actually like, not just selling you the dream. Amazon is not easy. Amazon is hard work. It takes a lot of time to build, but it is very, very good if you can have a thick skin and be consistent with it. It takes time. It is not get rich quick. Do not get into it if you think it is that, because it's not, and you'll be disappointed. Rawtow, okay, let's talk. Cool. I will give you a follow. What helped you the most in the beginning? Let's do it. What helped me the most in the beginning was networking, getting coaching. So I got a American coach, really nice guy, really like him, became friends with him actually. And I'm a big believer in coaching. I know the coach in our mentorship, Sam, because I got coaching from Sam as well. And just trying, not overthinking and just trying. Then please stop this teaching to other people because Amazon is not for everyone. Don't put people... Mate, I don't know how long you've been in this live, but I've said 3 times in this live call that Amazon is not for everyone. I am one of the few people that will tell you transparently that Amazon is not for everyone. I understand the frustration you're coming from because I've seen what other people are saying on TikTok. Just watch a few of our lives, mate. I promise you, we're not that group. We're very different. We really aim to be an honest source of information, and you just need to check out our reviews. We have 115 positive reviews. We've been going for 2 years. We have a very active community of our community members. We love them. Anyone in our mentorship would say nice things about us because we really genuinely care. Amazon isn't for everyone though, and that's okay. We're here to help you figure out if it is for you. Amazon is not that much easier than these guys telling you. I'm starting to think that you're trolling because I literally just said Amazon isn't easy, it's hard work, but it's worth it if you stick with it. I don't like Amazon PL, that's a lot harder than arbitrage, but to each their own, mate. Amazon has the largest marketplace in the world. It has the highest consumer trust in the world. The most amount of money in e-commerce is spent on Amazon. 65% of the units sold on Amazon are sold by third-party sellers. Whilst that opportunity is growing and the amount of new sellers coming onto the platform is diminishing, it's going down. I actually have provable data that I can show you to back that. So if it didn't work for you, that's okay, but it's a bit of an ignorant statement to say because it didn't work for me, that means it doesn't work for anyone. Drop shipping didn't work for me, but that doesn't mean drop shipping doesn't work for other people. I didn't like drop shipping, but I'm not going to say drop shipping doesn't work because I have a friend who's making really good money with it. It just didn't work for me as an individual. I hope that makes sense. And I'm not trying to hate, mate. I actually do understand your perspective because there's a lot of grifters. They are only selling their mentorship. That is incorrect. We have a free course. We have free resources that you can download. We have a prep center. We have virtual assistant recruitment. We have a software. We have an entire ecosystem. The mentorship is one section of our model, and it's one of the lowest generating revenues in the model. And that's run by Sam, who is an active seller. You can check out. I think so too, just ignore. It's kind of a bit of fun though, isn't it? It's a bit of banter back and forth thing. There's like 1% chance for new sellers. I know how Amazon works. That is also factually incorrect. I did a YouTube video on the success rate of Amazon versus other online business models. Amazon is about average for online businesses, but for new sellers in the first year, it actually is higher than average with success. What's the stat? 70,000 new sellers join in the UK per year. 68% of those people never make a first sell. And of the people that do make a first sell, the majority of those people don't get to a first review. So it works, my friend. It just didn't work for you. And that's okay. No hate. Find what works for you, my friend. Find what works for you. You're an active seller in the USA. Power to you. Well done, my friend. You won't stop until you make it. Mate, that is the exact mentality to have. Failure to me only exists if I stop. If I make mistakes, and I've made loads of them, if I keep going, it's not a mistake. I haven't failed, I've just learned, and I know what not to do next time. Thomas Edison failed at how to create a light bulb 1,000 times, and he never once saw himself as a failure. By historical records, he was a bit of an arse, but he never saw himself as a failure. He just learned how to not make a light bulb 1,000 times. Business is the same context. If you keep trying, you will figure out what works for you, and you will make it work. Amazon might be that thing for you. Amazon might not be that thing for you. Drop shipping wasn't that thing for me. It might be for someone else. To each their own. Everyone is different. Rawtail, let's go. Yeah, pumped. Right, guys, I'm actually really late for a call that I can't be late for because I'm very excited about it. We've got like an entrepreneur meetup tonight where we're chatting to a guy talking about sales. So I really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you for joining. I go live every single day. If you want to chat to us about our mentorship, drop us a DM. If you want to join our free Discord community, please do that. Got loads of free resources. Big thank you to everyone for joining. Even you, aim, whatever your name is, big thank you to you, my friend, for engaging. Appreciate it. Even though it was negative, you're sharing your view, you're trying to help people. I get it. Thank you for your time. Have a good one, guys. I will see you online tomorrow.